Hi guys, and welcome to my channel, Changing Phases Tarot. So happy to have you here with me today. Now today's reading is a special reading for the full moon happening on August 26th, right? This is the last full moon of the summer. It's the full moon in Pisces. Sometimes it's referred to as the Sturgeon moon. And for the full moon spread, I'm using the Celestial Tarot deck. And this is by Kay Steventon and Brian Clark. And as you can see, I have already laid the spread. And this is really just to save a little bit of time. As you can see, I am back at home now. So it was a great vacation, but it's good to be back home. I do apologize. I didn't make it back in time to do the weekend reading. But since we have this additional full moon happening this weekend, I decided to go with the full moon spread and then do the weekly reading for the upcoming week. So that's what I've done. Also be looking out for the giveaway video, right? At each full moon, I do offer a chance to win a free one question reading with me. So watch out for the other video. You'll find all the information about how to participate in the giveaway in that video. And just, a couple of facts about this full moon. It's called the Sturgeon moon because, some Native American tribes called the moon the Sturgeon moon because of all the sturgeon in the Great Lakes. Around this time, it's also known as the full corn moon, the wheat cut moon. It's also the blueberry moon. So lots of different names for this moon. But it's, again, the last one of the summer. So we are definitely heading into the fall. I have my new fall flowers out here. So it's a changing of the seasons for us here in the northern hemisphere. All right. And, well, obviously in the southern as well. But we're going into fall right here. So let's start, okay? So I'll go through the positions. I'll show you the cards as we work through the full moon reading. And I must apologize. I seem to have caught a cold, so I'm kind of sniffing, and I might have to stop the video to sneeze a few times. So I apologize in advance for that. Okay, we have in the first position, and this position is what we will be releasing at the time of this full moon, and we have the Princess of Swords. Okay, what we will be retaining, holding on to, we have the Six of Cups. What we will be receiving at the time of the full moon, the Fool. This is the 0 of the Major Arcana. Oops, over this side. What is surrounding us at the time of the full moon? We have the 2 of Pentacles. What we will be giving to others, right? Giving away or giving at the time of the full moon. The King of Swords. What might be beginning soon for us at the time of the full moon. And it's interesting because, it sits across from what we'll be receiving and what will be beginning. And they're both very similar energies. We have the Death card, so another Major Arcana that deals with endings and new beginnings. And, sitting across from it is the Fool, which is all about new beginnings. We'll get to that in a second. And then the main lesson, what are we learning at this full moon? We have the Ace of Swords sitting in the center of the reading. So, just kind of looking over the entire spread, there are messages here definitely of new beginnings, new, significant cycles beginning in our lives. And these are sort of out of our hands. This is the universe stepping in, lots of divine intervention at play here. Something to do with holding on to is something to do with the past. This could be memories from the past. It could be, a past relationship, because this is a 6 of Cups. There's a lesson that has to do with clarity of thought, right? And that sits next to what we're giving, which is this King of Swords, who can also, you can see that there's this scale of justice on this card. And the King of Swords can often be, he's very good with using his words. He's a very intellectual person. So there's something to do with intellect as well and clarity of thought coming in around this full moon. But, more than anything, I would say, this beginning, this major beginning with the two, these are the two major arcana cards that we have, the only two in the entire spread, and they both sit at what we're receiving and what is beginning soon. So new beginnings coming in for us here. Looking over this spread as well, it's interesting that we have, or it's really more heavily weighted towards swords, so air energy. We do have the two major arcanas, and the full is, it's linked with, Aquarius, so more air energy. So air energy, we have 1 Pentacles, 1 Cups. The Death card is also linked to Scorpio, which is more water energy, so I guess 2 Cups. No fire, right? We don't have any wands here, but lots of, lots of cards dealing with air energy. So, the suit of swords or air energy has to do with our thoughts. It has to do with, the intellect. It's really more mind over heart if there's, a situation that we have to deal with. And, beginning here with the Princess of Swords, this would be the Page of Swords in the traditional tarot. And I think out of all the pages, the Page of Swords is kind of the, I don't want to say the, like pessimistic type of energy really, but it's I think because the page, uses, in this deck we have the Princess of Swords, but the Page of Swords or Princess of Swords here uses their, they use their words, and she's very guarded. You see that she's, even though there really isn't anything, there's no there's nothing around her, right? There really isn't anything that she should be fearing. She has a very worried look on her face, right? She's looking very sort of concerned. She has her sword there, very protective. So there is this kind of pessimistic almost feeling or energy to this Princess of Swords card. Now, with this in the position of, what we are releasing, I think that there could be possibly the need to release maybe negative thinking. There could be a need to release any type of overthinking even, because she actually represents the season of winter. And, obviously we're here in the Northern Hemisphere. We're heading into August, right? So we're heading into September, heading into the fall or autumn. And so this is usually a time when, we're reaping the harvest. It's, it's obviously the season that comes before winter. And so with this season appearing, it's kind of, she looks out onto this kind of barren landscape. You see the trees, they've already lost all of their leaves. And so it is kind of more of a negative, more of a, kind of dark energy to this card. And so if there's a need to talk to others, to get your point across, to, if you're working on or with other people, I think that, what possibly needs to be released here is some type of, negative communication, or, this, or even being more open to, to new ideas, to new strategies. Yes, it's good to reflect on things, right? And to keep this kind of, protective, or, to keep an eye open. That's good. But, we don't want to get caught up. And I think, especially as we're releasing, this is what we need to release. I think releasing any type of, possibly negative thought pattern and being open to what's coming in here. As this is a court card, it could actually be a person. If this is a person, it would typically be a younger air sign individual. So Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Although with the pages, I usually view them more as energies, right? There's usually news coming in. The pages are bearers of news. So this could be, this need to kind of release, again, this, if there has been some type of conflict or, problems, there's a need to release that now and possibly change your thoughts, and especially with this, Ace of Swords sitting at the center here. I think that there's a new perspective needs to be gained, as you move forward. with whatever's coming in here. And we have, what we're retaining and then what we might be receiving. The Six of Cups is a card, again, that speaks of, it's very nostalgic. Sometimes it's attached to memories of the past, people from our past, places from our past, right? It can just be thinking back on these pleasant times. It can be reconnecting with somebody or something from the past, reconnecting with old friends, family members that you haven't seen in a while. It can be going back to the place where you used to live when you were a child. If it's a new opportunity, this could be an opportunity, could be something that, you've always wanted to do, or ever since you were a child, you've had this dream of doing something. It could in some way be connected to, a person from your past, or even going back again to the, where you used to live, or when you were a child. There could be an opportunity related to that. But it is a card of, moving forward, but at the same time, it's a card of thinking back, right? Thinking back on these good times, thinking back on or reconnecting with these people. And this is what we're holding on to. So there's a need to hold on to these fond memories. There's a need to hold on to, this happy nostalgia for thinking about the past or the people from our past. There's a need to hold on to that at this full moon. Because, what we might be receiving is a new journey. And again, this new thing, this new opportunity, this new beginning with the Fool card, it could in some way be related or be connected to your past, people from your past, right? And the major arcana of the Fool, with what, we might be receiving, this is a beautiful new beginning. This is, a significant new beginning, a new chapter starting in your life. This can be, a new chapter as far as a relationship goes. This could be a new job. This could be starting up, sort of restarting your life in a completely different place. It's a card of progress, but it's also a card of, needing to take a leap of faith. You can see that, I love the way it's depicted on this card. You see that there's a sort of the Fool holding the Fool here, right? We have the Fool stepping out into the unknown. And really we have Uranus here. I mean, obviously the card is linked with Uranus, and it's the planetary spirit kind of guiding the Fool here, right? And moving forward and stepping out into the unknown. And, unaware of sort of what lies ahead, but still trusting in, this new thing, trusting in the journey, trusting in this unexpected change that's coming in here. So there could be, could be a turning point, and this is what we're receiving. There could be, a brand new opportunity coming in here, especially with this Ace of Swords. And again, there's a need to release, possibly gain a new perspective, even if this is somehow tied to something from the past, a job that you used to do, or in some way connected to the past. There's new beginnings here, and it's all about, taking that leap of faith, trusting that things will work out with this fresh start, this new challenge, and then just, going with that, the optimism and this abundance of blind faith, really, as you start out on this new path. And then, looking down this side, there are a couple of different depictions here of balance, right? With the Two of Pentacles and the King of Swords. So with what's surrounding us and what you might be giving, there's definitely, this message coming through of balance, of a need for balance, giving balance. Possibly this is, a balance that you will be giving to somebody else, bringing some type of balance to their life. Because, what's surrounding you with this Two of Pentacles, this is usually the card of sort of juggling different areas of your life, right? Sometimes the card, it comes up in a reading when you are, juggling to make ends meet. It could also be you juggling different areas of your life, such as, your home with your career, And so there's a need for balance. It's a suit of pentacles, it's earth energy, it deals with the tangible things here in the material realm, such as our homes, real estate, property, resources, money. And so it's a card of, this balancing of these tangible things here in the material realm, which is you have surrounding you. So definitely, around the time of this full moon, there could be a need for balance, or you could find yourself trying to find this balance or balancing different areas of your life. And then what you're giving to others, you have the King of Swords. Yes, with the, another court card here, this could be an actual individual. Although this is you giving, what you are giving, but I'll just mention that this could be an older air sign individual, male or female, so more air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. And, we can see on this card, we can see the scales, right? We can see this other kind of reference to balance. And the King of Swords is, he's a very good communicator. He's very good at using his intellect to diffuse problem situations, figuring things out. He's all about using his intellect, using his mind, he has the mental power to kind of cut through, if there is something to be figured out, he can do it. And he knows that, he's always he's very fair, he's very equal. He's also very, he has to do with morals. Sometimes we associate him with, people in the legal profession, so like a lawyer or a judge, because he is, very fair. And you can see with this sort of scales of, of justice here, almost looks like the Justice card, but there's this balance again, and he tries to maintain this very balanced approach to things, right? And he's very much about using his logic. If there's a head or heart decision, he will definitely go with his head. So maybe this is, it's you giving this very balanced thought to something, or you giving or using your intellect in order to, to maybe help others, or maybe this is you, with whatever this new beginning is. And I'm kind of getting here to the Death card, but it's, looking at everything, making whatever decision needs to be made in a very, weighing up the pros and cons in a very balanced manner. And there's another, ending, beginning. So sitting here in this beginning soon position, we have the Death card. And the Death card is very much about, again, endings, a particularly important or long chapter ending. And then the new, through death comes new life. So the new beginning that comes in after the death. And it's a cycle, right? This is there's very cyclical energy here. It's linked to Scorpio. And, Scorpio obviously is water energy. But you can see here that there's, we have the figure of death, but we also have on the card, I love the depiction. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's the phoenix rising out of the ashes here. So, this sort of rebirth, renewal. And it's this inevitable ending, so there could be, if this is a job, there could be an inevitable ending, but that is going to bring in and herald in this brand new beginning. And with the Ace of Swords sitting here as what the main lesson is to be learned at this full moon, this is a card of clarity, right? The Ace of Swords is kind of that aha moment. It's when, it's also a blessing from the universe, right? This is, all aces are, they're blessings. Aces are yes cards. This Ace of Swords is a card of victory. So, there's definitely victory to be had here with this new beginning. When you take this leap of faith, this new balanced approach to whatever this opportunity is, there's definitely victory at hand with the Ace of Swords. And it's about using, you using the power of your intellect in a very upright, a very righteous manner. It's new beginnings. It can have to do with inspiration. It can also have to do with a new point of view, so a new perspective. So again, getting rid of, an old way of thinking, and then embracing this brand new way of thinking, this clarity, this new beginning. Definitely being called to use your intellect. The intellect is very much, I think, what's going to push you into this new beginning by, possibly changing, leaving behind a way of thinking, embracing new viewpoints, finding a certain balance that you need, and then endings and new cycles beginning here. So it looks like a powerful full moon, very heavily weighted towards, again, air energy, so thoughts, communication, new beginnings, endings, but, rebirth, right? Coming back, the phoenix. Remember the phoenix. We're rising from the ashes here, and then, new clarity and victory coming in. So looks like a very good full moon for us. So I do hope that the messages have helped you. I thank you for joining me today. I look forward to reading for you again, and just know that I'm sending you much peace, love, and light for a wonderful full moon. Bye for now.